I was faced with my mortality at 21 years old. And it is a crappy experience. Keep in mind, I was a religious person at this time. I still am for the most part. And that brings up its own questions. How could God let this happen to me? Whatever, you know, what did I do? Even if I think even if you didn't believe in God, you'd have to question what did I do to deserve this? You know, in a way. Couldn't even drink regular water for a while. Had to be boiled, purified. You know, I never used to like cola, but the first thing I got to drink that was normal was a little bit of Pepsi. Just being able to have anything. Now Pepsi is one of my favorite drinks. And I never even liked cola. I tasted cola. I didn't like the taste, but now I have a positive... I'm actually drinking a Pepsi Max right now. I now have a positive experience with Pepsi. So, during this time also, I'd like to mention I didn't play video games. It wasn't important anymore. It didn't feel like anything. It gave me no joy. Nothing gave me joy at this time. Nothing made me happy. I didn't know how to be happy. Now, at the time, the doctor suggested I go on antidepressants before because the process is so taxing on a person. Which it is. For whatever reason, I didn't want them. I don't know why. I really don't. But for some reason, I said no. I don't want to take any of these pills. Whatever. So I had to deal with all this with no help medically, mentally. Luckily, they were able to provide me with, you know, there was chaplains there. There was, well, there's a Catholic chaplain, so that was nice. Even though I wasn't technically Catholic, I was Protestant more. But, you know, he was still a very nice man. They would give you, psychologists, psychiatrists would come to check on you. There was even a wonderful person who, while they were going through their own transplant, had knitted caps for everyone on the floor. I still have it. That was probably one of the highlights of being in there. Weeks after the chemo, I finally was able to get up out of bed, start walking around. I would take little laps around the chemo ward. My mom, we would walk out to the, not the courtyard, but there was just different seating areas. It's a big hospital, very nice hospital. We'd walk out there, just sit down for a little bit. Anything to be out of the same four walls I'd been seeing for, you know, 2 months. After the chemo, after the transplant, I had to do radiation because, again, I was young. They wanted to try to allow me to move on and live a happy, normal life. So I did radiation for about a month. Finished radiation around Halloween of that year. Then spent the next year or so recovering. They said it takes about a year or two from the transplant to really get back to normal. Physically, I can tell you right now, mentally, I have still not recovered from everything. So, at the age of 20, I was 22 by the time, 23, my life finally seemed normal. I was still scared, you know, that cancer would come back. And each time it comes back, you have a less and less likely chance of beating the cancer you have. The first time it was there, I had a very high chance. Second time, it was about a coin flip. So to think if it came back, you know, how much more exponentially the likelihood that I would live would go. So I lived in fear for that for a couple of years. But the first 2 years is when it's most likely to come back. And I got through those 2 years. And I thought I was over it. I thought I was done. I thought cancer was done. I tried to pretend like it never happened. Then my 24th birthday rolled around. And I thought I missed the exit. Me and my friend were going to the Cheesecake Factory. I missed the exit. And I had to get off on the next exit. Well, the next exit was the same exit I took to go to the hospital that I got chemo at the second time. Not during the transplant, but the pre-chemo before the transplant. So I drove right by the hospital I did chemo in. I know on the internet the word triggered can be, for whatever reason, it's offensive to some people, that other people could be legitimately triggered. But I will tell you right now, I was absolutely triggered by that hospital. Triggering is a real thing. Are there people out there who probably aren't triggered and they just say they're triggered and whatever? Absolutely. Probably. Of course. Happens with everything. But let me tell you right now, triggers are a real thing for those of us that struggle with anxiety. Or just other issues in general. PTSD, whatever you want to call it. Whatever myriad of mental health issues I've developed since this chemo and this cancer. Triggering is a real thing. And I was triggered when I saw that hospital. My body immediately went into fight or flight mode. Now, at the time, I thought I was honestly having a heart attack. Because that's what it felt like. And that's the scariest thing about anxiety, is it feels like a heart attack. It legitimately has all the same symptoms as a heart attack. And for someone who's already anxious, to feel the symptoms of a heart attack, even if it's anxiety, it's pretty difficult. So, after that, I was stuck. Didn't really go anywhere, didn't go to school, didn't do nothing for about a year and a half. No, about a year. I just dealt with anxiety all the time. After that, I finally made strides, started going back to school. At 25, I was finally getting into the swing of school. The other issue here is cancer. Hitting at certain ages will absolutely derail you in comparison to your social circle. Most of my friends are in careers now, graduated college a long time ago. I'm still in college at 27. So I finally got better through pills, through mental medicine, through Let's Plays. Another reason why I do this, Game Grumps helped me a lot. When the anxiety hit, that was around the time Game Grumps had just started. That was back when it was still just JonTron and Aaron, and it was small, but Game Grumps had just started. I just really discovered Let's Plays. So that helped me a lot. Fallout 3 had happened, made me reignite my love for gaming. But yeah, I'd finally gotten to a good place. I was happy. I was doing well. Didn't really have anxiety anymore through antidepressants, anti-anxiety pills, counseling, lots and lots of counseling, hours of counseling. And then started having issues while I was sleeping. I would lay down and I could barely breathe. I'm overweight, so like there were times where it was hard to tell whether it was just me being overweight or not. By the way, every major health issue I've had, I have every time. And if you think doctors don't let you know if your weight is a factor in what's happening to you or whatever, you haven't been to a doctor. Doctors have no qualms telling you. So if anyone's curious about how much my weight has played a role in most of this, I can let you know, asking from the doctor specifically, most of what's happened to me outside of one thing that is wrong with me, which I haven't even touched on at all, is nothing to do with my weight. So, after that, I went to the doctor. Also going upstairs, things that didn't used to tire me out incredibly were really wearing me out and giving me short of breath. I used to have to walk up a set of stairs to leave one of my classrooms while I was at school, local community college. And every time after class, I would walk up this large flight of stairs, and I'd get to the top, and I would just have to sit there for a couple minutes because I was shot. I could barely breathe. You know, honestly, I guess I naively thought I was just that out of shape. But finally, it got bad enough. I went to the doctor. They thought I had pneumonia at first. Turns out I had acute heart failure. Now this is again where some people really would try to pry me into saying, oh, you know, was it your weight? Was it your weight? You know, is it your weight? Like, because I talked very in depth with the doctors about it. They said at my age, keep in mind at this time I was 25, so I was 2 years younger. At my age, what was wrong with my heart could not have been done by weight. The issues I was having with my heart were not issues that my weight at this young of an age could have done. There was no major damage to my heart. My heart was just no longer pumping properly. My heart was operating at, I want to say, 30% function of what it's supposed to be. There's a weird number with heart for, like, it's not actually, like, it's not 100% thing. But, like, based on what the normal percentage is and what mine was at, I think I was only working at about 30%. My heart was only working at about 30%. So I'd gotten a lot of fluid backed up into me. 27 pounds, 25 pounds of fluid was in me. I had to stay in the hospital. And get pumped full of medicine that made me urinate like crazy. And over the course of about 2 days, I urinated out about 25 pounds of fluid that my body had backed up. The good news, again, no damage to my heart. My heart just was not pumping properly. And it turns out, I guess there's such a large array of things that can go wrong with you based on the chemo you had, that they just don't tell you what all the things are, because one, they feel like it just would cause more stress in the patient who's already experiencing a lot of stress, and two, it's just such a long list. So apparently one of the chemotherapy drugs I had to take can cause weakening of the heart. So that happened. On top of the weight from the fluid, lost a little bit of weight, ate, started eating a lot better. Because at that point, it was just to make things as easy as possible in my heart. So I started eating better. I actually was lucky that within a year, my heart was working properly again, thanks to drugs and a good diet. So that was the last time something happened to me. I was about 26, so that was about a year ago. It's been about a year since I've been truly affected by my cancer. So from 19 to 26 was nonstop. And I argue 26 to 27 has had plenty of its own issues mentally. But physically, I had cancer for maybe 2.5 years. About 7 years until I stopped feeling the effects of it. Physically. I am at... Now I am, I don't know, 6 years post-transplant. And not a day goes by I don't think about it. It's not something that's as simple as moving on, unfortunately. I'd also like to shout out the subreddit, the cancer subreddit on Reddit. Because there's been a couple times I've been able to go there and just get some good words from people who've gone through similar experiences. So if you've gone through cancer at all, feel free to check it out. Gotten a lot of help there. But the reason I do this is it's, again, Lymphoma and Leukemia Awareness Month. I never thought cancer would hit me so hard. Or would hit me at all. And it is devastating. I don't know that I'll ever be able to have a normal life anymore. Doctors have told me that the amount of chemo and radiation I've had means that I will definitely continue to run into complications as my life moves on. But everything seems okay right now, if I'll be completely honest with you. I'm in about as good a spot as I can be, decently far out, so all the short-term effects seem to be gone. Who knows what the future holds with long-term effects. After consulting with my doctor, it's probably best I don't know. I don't look it up. I just let life come as it may. As best I can. It has wrecked me mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Just one issue after another. I have what is appeared to be explained as PTSD from all the issues. And obviously there's still things that can bring up those feelings. And I share this partially just to put it out there, because it's a bit of a release. I also do that to say everything that this thing's put me through, even though it put me through it a long time ago, everything that I've continued to be put through, when I had the heart issues and when I had the anxiety issues, Let's Players like Game Grumps and Markiplier actually really got me through some tough days. You know, especially days where I couldn't do anything because I couldn't function. So they allowed me to be free, be released of whatever I was dealing with at the time. So thank you to Mark. And Mark, I'm sorry for what's happened to you lately. I know Mark's lost a friend recently. Aaron, John, Danny, Ross, Barry, Susie. I guess now Kevin. Thank you for all the entertainment. I do Let's Plays because Let's Plays helped me a lot. Video games have helped me a lot. In the long run, escapism isn't always okay, and you need to be able to face life. But every once in a while, you do just need that release, that escape, that place to go where everything's okay. And that's what video games can do for people. That's what Let's Plays can do for people. That's what videos can do for people. And for those out there who have experienced cancer, I know it always helped me to know that there were other people that have been through it and could share my experiences. That I wasn't alone, that someone else out there knew what it was like. I'm not happy about what I went through, but I'm happy if my issues, my troubles, can help someone relate, help someone feel like they're not alone, help someone feel something. Cancer is a terrible thing. And I hope to God one day there's a cure for all cancers. Some cancers have gotten pretty good at being cured, you know, in this day and age. And hopefully as time moves on, it will continue. I don't know what the future holds for me. There could be a medical issue lurking around the corner. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But I want to continue to do this channel as long as I can. And Bromo Gaming. And MGT. I do a lot of these because I feel like I'm giving back. Even if it's just a couple people. You know, there's a reason someone sits down to watch the video. Maybe they want to pass some time. Maybe it's helpful. Maybe it's whatever. I don't know. So, I encourage you guys, if you ever get the chance, maybe give to a cancer cause. If you know someone with cancer, just be there for them. If anyone out there has cancer and they need someone to talk to, go ahead, comment below, shoot me a message. It's been rough. It's not gonna be easy moving forward. It never is. I think after. It's gonna be one of those things that's always in the back of my mind. But I don't ignore it anymore. Because there's no point. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm an ex-cancer patient. I've had cancer. I used to pretend it never happened, but that's a lie. It's happened. So if you're out there, this video helped, I'm really happy. If you're just curious to hear my story, there it is. You know, I hope that my videos can help someone someday, if they haven't already, get through a rough day. Mario Maker will be back. Fallout maybe, I don't know. I don't know what other series are on the horizon. But video games bring people together as much as they can tear them apart sometimes. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening to my story. Anyone that got through all of this, I'd be shocked. I'm looking at the screen. It's at about 45 minutes right now. I might have to split this up into two. Anyone that has been here and supported me, thank you very much. I'd love if I could brighten up enough people's day that I could do this for a living, because sometimes it feels like I'm not going to be able to return to a normal life. So, if you think this video helps someone, go ahead, share it, and it's whatever. I just wanted to share my story and maybe bring awareness to leukemia and lymphoma. Cancer's a real pain. But it's gonna be okay. Because I just have a good feeling about the rest. So onward to the future. I will see you guys in the next video.